The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Today's Glory Days. The Rangers did not win the Stanley Cup. Pete Torgerson's going to join us, talk about that.
And the rest of the world is getting excited about soccer. We'll have international soccer star Philippe Alonge right here in the studio.
The Knicks have a new head coach. California Chrome did not win the Triple Crown.
And if you stick around to the end, Mr. B will do a song for you. Glory Days coming up right now. Good morning, everybody. Today is Saturday, June 14th. It is Flag Day.
Is it?
Yeah. 2014, you are watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Discofani, and this is my good buddy, Bruce Oler.
Hey, Disco. How are you?
All right, man. Bonnie is behind the glass with us today. No Matt Martin today. I guess he was out partying too much last night. We have to check only Matt Martin's Facebook status.
Yeah, we'll have to check that for sure.
And you're watching the Glory Day Show here, broadcasting from the Village Music Shoppy out here in beautiful Mastic, Long Island. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. How about you, man?
I'm doing okay. We had a really big show today. There's a lot of things that happened.
Well, I mean, we have a soccer star with us today.
International soccer star today, Philippe Alonge, will be here today to talk about the World Cup. And you know, this country is soccer crazy up until you get to be like 13 years old, 13 or 14 years old. And I can't understand why soccer really hasn't caught on here as a
I think it's all to do with the money. I think people make more money playing baseball or playing football.
And I think also, and again, we're going to talk to Philip about it when he gets on. But I think one of the other things is the fact that we have so many other things. You got baseball, you got hockey, you got football. You know, what are they watching in Ghana?
I don't know.
You know. So anyway, but so many things happen. Stanley Cup Finals. The Rangers are out. They gave it their best shot.
They did. I mean, three of the 5 games went into overtime,
right?
And 2 of them went into double overtime.
2 of them double overtime. So they do not win the Stanley Cup. The Kings win it for the second time.
In the last 3 years.
The Knicks hire a guy who
has no coaching experience at all.
3 weeks ago
was playing
in the NBA.
Yeah.
And he's now the NBA. He's now the head coach of the Knicks, Derek Fisher.
He's going to need a little, I think, mentoring by the Zen master. You know.
So, want to get into that first?
Go ahead.
All right. So Derek Fisher is the new coach of the Knicks.
And I guess they're paying him $5 million a year. I guess they didn't want to make the same mistake they made with Steve Kerr, where Steve Kerr basically walked away from the deal and signed with Golden State, I guess it was.
How
right?
much were they offering him?
It was less than 5. I think it was about 4.1 or something like that. You know.
So Derek Fisher agrees to a 5-year contract. He's a 5-time NBA champion. He won 5 championships with the Lakers. And I think, I'm not sure if it was all of them, but at least 3 of them were with Phil Jackson as the coach. He's 39 years old. He's never been a coach at any level, anywhere, not even his kids.
Do you think this has disaster written right all over it? Because I do, you know.
I mean, just 10 days before he got signed. He was playing basketball.
And the Knicks, I think, got fined, too. Phil Jackson got fined for tampering because I guess he was
Yes.
talking to him while the playoffs were still going on or something, you know.
So he's a point guard, and he during 18 years, he's an 18-year veteran. He won 5 championships. 01, 04, 07, 09, and 010.
Mm-hmm. 010.
in Los Angeles. But they said he was like a coach anyway.
Yeah.
He was the guy on the court when it was when there was something going on with Kobe Bryant or something like that. He was the go-to guy, you know. So, of course, he addressed it at his press conference.
Okay.
He says there'll be a lot of talk about my inexperience as a head coach, and that obviously is factually true. I've not been a head coach in the NBA or college or high school, but I am experienced. Basketball is a game that I'm experienced in, playing, understanding, leading in, guiding in, helping another group of people achieve the greatest gift in the world as a professional athlete, and that's being a champion. That I have experience in. So you think about it. The guy with the Knicks, Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
He was
Nets.
never Nets.
Yeah.
He was never a coach any year before, and he had what was considered an aging roster.
Yeah.
With the older guys he had on the team, a lot of experience, but they didn't think they would hold up, and they won a playoff series in his first year.
Yeah.
So,
Anything can happen, okay? But I think you set up. You got a guy who never coached before. You got a guy who never general managed before. You know, I mean, you know, I don't think the everything is aligning right now. I really don't. You know, and I'm a Knicks fan. I'm not wishing anything against the Knicks, but you know, and then they have the Carmelo Anthony situation.
Right.
Who knows what's going to happen with him?
Right. Will Carmelo? He's not going to sign back. But you know what? I think the Knicks are hoping he signs somewhere else. This way, they could get rid of him, so to speak, and just say, "Oh well, you know, what are you going to do? He's a free agent. He went somewhere else." They don't want him. You know what's funny though? We haven't talked at all about the NBA Finals, and the
we should talk about that because the Miami Heat are down 3 games to 1.
And you know what?
And they didn't look good in the last 2 games. They're getting blown out.
But what happens? LeBron's a free agent after this year.
I thought it was next year.
No, he can opt out at the end of this year. Do they bring somebody like Carmelo Anthony in to help them? Or they're going to need 5 basketballs if you bring in Carmelo.
There's some speculation about him talking to Miami, you know? So we'll see.
But here's one more interesting thing that Derek Fisher said, talking about his relationship with Phil Jackson.
Okay.
Okay, obviously they were player-coach. Mm-hmm. We have a transition to make from being coach-player to now executive coach, and that's a different relationship. But I don't foresee a problem having one of the greatest to do what you're trying to do want to come down and help you a little bit. So I think what he's saying there is that if Phil Jackson comes down to him during a practice and says, hey, you know, why don't you try doing this, or make this guy do this, or don't give this guy. I don't think Derek Fisher's going to say, you know, I'm the coach of this team, and I'm going to do what I want.
It would be stupid for him to do that,
you know. So,
and maybe that's why Mark Jackson never got that, really never got a serious consideration, because I guess Mark Jackson probably would have said, I'm the coach, why don't you go back up to your office?
And that's what a more experienced coach would have said. Mm-hmm. You know, even though you want to take some advice from a guy who's won 85 NBA championships or whatever it is.
85.
No, you know what I mean. So we'll see. I mean, maybe it's like Kramer and Jerry Seinfeld's father. They're going to install him as a puppet regime.
We'll see.
All righty. The other story, real quickly, before we get into hockey with our good pal Pete Torgerson.
Yeah.
Last week was California Chrome not winning the Triple Crown.
There was so much buzz about him, man. You know, on our show, Jerry Schwartzman, you know, emphatically said he was going to win.
And I did send a text message to our good pal Jerry, who cost a lot of people a lot of money last week, because he said, without a doubt, California Chrome was going to win, and I believe he said everybody else is just playing for second.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. We'll have to go to the replay on that.
So I sent Jerry a text message with the word tonalist and a question mark. And he sent me back a very nice text message that he is changing his name and moving to Guam.
Okay. He's now in the witness protection program, I see.
Good luck, Philippe Alonge.
You know, the other big part about the story, though, was the the co-owner of California Chrome went bananas afterwards.
Do you know, obviously I was watching the Belmont, the Belmont.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've called it the Derby, by the way?
Well, we did it before on the lead-in. You know?
But I've been
that
calling
was
it
on
the
the cutting
Derby.
room floor now. But,
I've been calling it the Derby all week. But
Yeah.
at any rate, I was watching it, and then I saw them interviewing the guy who reminds me of our friend Greg Higgins, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, big man. And all of a sudden, he starts calling them cowards.
Yeah.
He says, these other horses, they always set out to try and upset the apple cart. I'll never see, and I'm 61 years old, another Triple Crown winner in my lifetime because of the way they do that.
I don't see how he can say that. I mean, his horse was one win away from doing that, you know? And,
well, again, if I wouldn't say non-racing fans like us, but we don't follow the sport the way a lot of people do. What he said made some sense in the fact that the Triple Crown, the horses, first of all, you have to score enough points to be allowed to get into the Kentucky Derby.
Okay.
So only the horses, only the top 20 horses can be in the Kentucky Derby. So his theory is that if you race in the Kentucky Derby, when you get to the Preakness, only whoever wants to race from those 20 should race, and when you get to the Belmont,
it should be that same cohort group.
Right.
Now, that would have been 3 horses, I think, is what I read.
Yeah, but I think that if there was that rule, those other horses would have participated.
You think so?
Okay.
The other piece, though, when he's going bananas, talking about the fact that we're all cowards and stuff like that, the piece I didn't pick up on was his wife telling him to shut up.
Yeah,
you know?
he said his wife was like holding it going like,
You ever been there where your wife tells you, you're saying something stupid, shut up, honey, shut up.
Usually you get kicked under the table.
Exactly.
Or,
well, she wasn't sitting next to him where she could have done that, you know.
But if you talk to a true horse racing person, they say the same thing. They say you can't change the rules.
Well, exactly right.
You know what I mean?
And you think about the rule, just think about this too. Wasn't there a rule that basically that nose strip that he had, that was illegal, right?
By the way.
And they bent that rule for him.
Do you remember Jerry talking about selling breathe right strips? They were all, even the jockey was wearing one.
Oh, really?
The jockey was wearing the nasal strip that said California Chrome on it.
Jerry should have copyrighted that and made a mint on
Jerry
royalties.
was so
or something,
sorry that you didn't do it when we had the chance.
Yeah.
But everyone in Belmont was wearing a California Chrome breathe right nasal strip. It was the funniest thing.
And we thought we were going to go down there and scoop the world.
We would have went down there and everybody would have said, I already got one.
We would have gone down there with the Enravio van, be all set up for that. Maybe we put the strip right on the front of on the grill there or something,
So, it kind of would be like, changing the rules of the Triple Crown now, just because nobody won, would be the same thing as when Miguel Cabrera won the Triple Crown in baseball, which is batting average, home runs, and runs batted in. Nobody had won it since the 50s, I think, with Ted Williams, The baseball didn't say, oh, well, you know what, we're going to change the Triple Crown. It's not going to be runs batted in, home runs, and batting average. It's going to be on-base percentage, and you know what I mean? And so I looked it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Between 71 and 86, okay, the percentage of horses that did not run in the Derby or the Preakness was 47%, okay?
Okay.
Between 87 and 2000, it went down, was 42%, okay? And in the last 7 years, it was only 40%. When Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown in 77, that horse beat 7 other horses that didn't race in both the Preakness and the Derby, So this year, of the 11 horses that ran in the Belmont, only 3 of them ran in both, okay? 7 of them ran in one, and 4 of the horses skipped it completely. But this year, 2 of those horses came in first and second.
I see.
Tonalist and Commissioner came in first and second. So, Jerry, good luck, or whatever your name is now, in the witness protection program in Guam. And,
we're just gonna continue to rely on Sammy Stone, because Sammy Stone did say that's not
right.
gonna happen, right? You know?
Sammy Stone correctly predicted on this here program that California Chrome would not win the...
I think he said, that's not gonna happen.
It's not
I think
going
is
to
what he
happen.
said.
That's what he said. And we will be hearing from Sammy Stone later when we have Phil on to talk about
The World Cup.
The World Cup. We're going to see if some of our favorite teams, and of course, you're going to have to be rooting for Germany.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I'm going to be rooting for Italy along with Phil.
Uh-huh.
And we'll see who else. Actually, when we get Pete on the phone, we'll see who he's rooting for. So let's
Speaking of
get
Pete.
right into it. The Stanley Cup was awarded last night.
Actually, it was early this morning, New York time.
Early this morning.
It was after midnight.
And our good pal, really good friend of the show, he's a former referee. He lives in the Boston area. He has been our hockey maven for years on this program. There would not be a Glory Day show without our next guest. Please welcome Pete Torgerson
Hey,
to the
Pete.
program. Pete, you there?
How we doing, guys?
Hey, good, man.
So, obviously, you stayed awake last night.
I sure did.
Was that not one of the best overtimes you've ever seen?
I'll tell you, there were so many shots that were so close.
Man.
Some of the great saves the goalies made, and then a lot of shots that just weren't on really. They just were off goal by an inch or two. You know.
Yeah.
What did we have? 3 posts, 4 posts in
Yeah.
overtime? Too?
I think 4 posts in overtime alone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Pete, in that other game, in the game that the Rangers won at Madison Square Garden,
2-1.
2-1, I heard Mike Milbury and a couple of them use a phrase that I had never heard before, puck luck.
Oh yeah, that's an old hockey phrase.
Yeah, I never heard that phrase before, and they said when the puck just stops, they call that puck luck.
Okay.
Or maybe
Sure,
I guess if it hits
when it bounces off your butt and goes in the goal, every puck seems to end up on your team's stick, it's just the hockey gods telling you that this is how it's happening today.
How about that snowdrift in front of the goal line now, huh? That was
That was
kind of
amazing.
outstanding.
But
Yeah.
you know what the best play on that was? The position of the referee. And did
He
you
was
hear him
right
mic'd up?
there.
He said,
Yeah.
it's still loose. And then King started yelling that he covered it up, and he pointed. He goes, no, he pushed it
Yeah,
out.
he didn't.
to
He
the
pushed
front.
it, though. He pushed it under the goalie is what he did, you know? Because
Right.
if he would have covered the puck, that's a penalty shot, right?
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the amazing thing about that was that Lundqvist's foot was right there.
Yeah.
And you would think the natural tendency would be to move back or whatever, and he didn't move.
No, you don't move when it's under
Yeah,
you like that.
I think
because
that's
you
what the
think you can
goalies are
knock it
told.
in.
Don't move, man. You know, whatever the puck
Yep.
is, don't move. And especially don't move backwards because you can
Now,
push
I
the puck in the
never,
net all by yourself, you know?
I never played. I was a goalie, but I never played goalie on ice because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I had good enough skating skills because you really have to be a good skater to be a goalie. So I never actually played ice hockey. I mean, played goalie on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, we were always friends with the goalie. I was a defenseman the last couple of years of my hockey career because I couldn't skate anymore. And I used to say to the goalie, "What are you doing when he's scraping up the ice?" And he says, "Because if that puck is slowly moving, he says, I want it to stop before it gets to
Well.
the." I said, so I never really knew why they did that. I thought it was just a nervous habit, or because I
No,
said,
they rough up the crease too, so they don't. When they come across, they don't just slide out of it.
Right.
when
But
the
nowadays,
lights do.
especially every NHL rink, they have the people that clear the ice, and they clear everything, including what's in the goal crease, and then the goalie has to go and re-scratch it up again for himself. And I'm not sure I like this thing where they break halfway through the overtime to clear the ice.
Well, it is a good thing because the snow builds up at the benches around the nets, and they're playing with it like that all year. Let's keep it going, keep it consistent. I'm
Okay.
all for it.
So we had Mike Swan on last week, and the Ranger fans, of course, are lamenting the refereeing with what was going on with Lundqvist and the crease and the goal.
With game 2. Well, that was actually, I guess game 2 hadn't been yet because game 2 was Saturday night.
Right. But they were talking about, what did you think of the refereeing? You are a referee, so what did you think?
You know what? Overall, it's good. You miss half the things they do well. But, with super slow motion, everything looks easy. Like that play last night where Zuccarello went flying out. Was it in overtime or the end of the third period? And they called him for a trip when, was it Martinez stuck his leg out?
Yeah. Yes.
There's a great instance where a no call would have been fine with everybody, because first thing you look at, Zuccarello didn't get the puck and go in on a breakaway. The guy kept it in, which he was supposed to do, so there was no change of possession. So you have to process that all in about 4 seconds, less than 4 seconds, like in a second. You have to process what's going on here. Did that guy trip this guy? Was it incidental contact? Did he lose control of the puck? Is the play still going the same way it was going? And the ref processed it, and he didn't think that's what it was. Then another one, there was a puck that bounced out of the net in the bounced out of the crowd in overtime. Both linesmen signal that they want the face-off inside. The referee points he wants it outside on the offside circle. I'm like, oh man, you got two of the best linesmen in the world here. Don't get involved. I think I'm 700% sure these guys are under such pressure from the office. They watch every play, they watch film, they critique them, and these guys start thinking. And that's when you have your problems. They're worrying about. They're not worrying about what's going on the ice. They're worrying about what they're seeing in Toronto, what they're seeing in New York, in their offices.
Somebody's always looking over your shoulders, what they feel, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's 700. You can't ref like that. There's guys that I ref with, and they're always worrying about the next tournament game, and guess what? It affects their performance, and you don't even want to be on the ice with these guys, because they'll make a call, and the whole rink will be looking around, and I'll be looking around like, well, what did he have?
Mm-hmm.
So. It's sad, and that's the human element. And it's good and bad. Look at the great calls these guys made, like being on the goal line, being in the right position. There was a hand pass that all four refs had. It's just the little stuff that they do.
It's a thankless job, though. I mean, at the end of the day, if you make the right call, nobody says anything about it. If you make the bad call, if you blow the call, everybody's on top of you.
Yeah, because if
you
make the right call,
you have no idea how hard it is just to get the puck down square. I don't know if you saw it in the game in New York. So New York, the home team, they get to put their stick down last. The guy in Kings, I think it was Carter, he would pretend he was putting his stick down. He would get a foot off the ice. The Ranger guy, Dominic Moore, would put his stick down. They'd drop it, and the guy never got to the ice. So he's hitting the puck when it's like 9 inches off the ice. That's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
So those are the little things. Just controlling the face-off, people creeping in, all that stuff. Those guys do such a good job at all that stuff, but you don't even notice. You have no idea what's going on. Notice there were no scrums.
Right.
Those guys were in there, just talking the guys off the edge, because any time you can have a major explosion there, especially that time of year.
Well, I
will never say that these guys did a bad job. I just think they're looking over their shoulder. So.
Well, obviously, this was just a great postseason for the NHL. I think it just proves once again that the NHL postseason is probably the best.
The coolest sport on earth. I always say that,
No question. Teams that were knocked out in the first round, first and second round, St. Louis, Colorado, any of those teams, the Ducks, any of those teams could have won the Stanley Cup.
Right. And again, to the Ranger fans, we're very happy that you didn't win, only because of what we would have had to put up with.
That's right, a year of constant abuse.
They fought through 3 very tough series. Mm-hmm. They lost 3 overtime games
in the finals.
Yeah. Hey, you know what was interesting? I heard somebody mention this morning, and I hadn't really thought about this. In the entire 5 games, the Rangers did not score after the second period. They scored no third period or overtime goals. Obviously, they lost 3.
Well, when did Boyle score last night? That was the third period, wasn't it?
No, the Rangers didn't. Rangers have a 2.
Rangers had a 2-1 lead. I only saw the overtime. I only saw the last 5 minutes of the first.
That could be Pete. I don't know. That's what I heard this morning.
Yeah, it's all mushing together today.
Yeah.
But if I had to vote for Conn Smythe, I would have voted for King Henrik. Man, he played unbelievable.
Do they ever give the Conn Smythe to the losing team?
Sometimes.
Do they?
Yeah. Ron Hextall got it when the Flyers lost one year. I think
see.
he's the only one.
The Rangers, by the way, the Rangers had a 2-1 lead going into the third period. He scored late in the third period. He scored in second period.
Late in the second, that's right.
He
That's
scored
right.
in the
What a
last
great shot
30
that was.
seconds.
How about the
Ooh.
two Boston College kids scoring last night? That was pretty impressive.
So
Ryder
Justin
Boyle.
Williams won the Conn Smythe, and actually, I didn't realize he was a member of the Carolina Hurricanes in 2006 when they won.
Yes, he was.
And the Rangers
The
were
guy,
just...
the guy that I feel bad for was Girardi, man. Holy smokes. I was cringing in the third period in overtime. Every time he got the puck, he was turning it over.
Yeah.
There's a guy that was thinking. He wasn't playing. He was thinking. He was gripping the stick. You could see the sawdust coming off it. How about the other night? The puck comes back to the point. He goes to pass it. His stick breaks in half.
Yeah.
Now, there's a guy that had no puck luck. He had... Last night, he must have turned the puck over 8 times between the third period and the overtime. I felt bad for the guy because I could hear.
Well, he was the one that gave up the goal, and they gave up the puck in the first game when they lost in overtime.
Yeah, when he was came backwards, he fell down. And guess what? That didn't leave him.
Yep.
He's going to be like Knobloch. Remember when Knobloch couldn't throw?
Oh yeah, he's got the yips. He's going to have the yips.
That's
The
what I
yips.
felt like for this poor guy last night. He would get the puck, pick his head up, look, have a lane, and he put it right on the Kings guy's stick.
Yeah.
He passed it to Carter. Carter looped around, hit the post, hit the crossbar there. Was that overtime or just before overtime?
I think that was overtime.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All righty, Pete, before we let you go... Go ahead.
My one guy was Quick came through again.
Yeah, hey,
He's huge.
if you get to see him this year, you got to
Yeah,
get a nice picture for us
if
with
the cup comes to Connecticut and you get invited, you got to have a picture with the cup, man. All right.
Hey, before I let you go, real quick, who's your favorite country in the World Cup?
Refuse to watch the World Cup. I'm anti-soccer.
Okay. All right.
All right, then that means you're not going to be watching the rest of the show.
All right.
Nothing like some good soccer talk.
All right.
All righty, Pete.
Great talking to you, buddy.
Hey, don't fall down while you're doing that. I don't want you guys to take a dive while you're talking soccer.
All righty, Pete.
All right, guys.
So,
We'll
thanks
see
a
you.
lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Pete. We'll talk to you. That is our hockey maven,
Pete Torgerson.
And, all right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we will have right here, sitting in between the two of us, we will have international soccer star Philippe Alonge to talk about the World Cup. Right?
Sounds good.
Stick around. Mr. B will do song at the end. You are watching The Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco right here on InRavio.com. We'll be right back.
InRavio.com.
All right. The microphone on already? Okay.
Paul Brown and the Killing Devils. Alternative progressive rock like you've never heard before. Over 1 million views on YouTube. New York City Village Voice says Paul is a gifted singer, songwriter, and musician with one of the best progressive rock bands on the planet. LA Underground Music Exchange calls him the only modern American band to cover every genre well. Pick up the albums Black Widow Tears, Red Spider, and The Wizard's Dawn, now on iTunes. And get to Facebook.com/Killing Devils to keep up with the latest info.
From the 5051 Racing Show, live every Monday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Watch as I dive into everything from NASCAR and motor racing, only on InRavio.com.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
Hi, this is Tony.
And I'm Dan, and you're watching.
Dear Dad.
Oh, wait, you're not watching it yet, but you should be every Thursday at our new time from.
7 to 8.
That's the new time. Dear Dad on InRavio.com.
Only in radio.com.
Where else could it be? Tune in.
On the internet.
Just in case.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Can you? Maybe it's not working. Maybe it's a bad. Okay.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
All right, welcome back to the Glory Days show here on InRavio.com. My name is Paul DeScafani, my good buddy Bruce Oler, and this is international soccer star Philippe Alonge.
Yes.
I thought you would be wearing a France.
Well, as the old story goes, in the back in Napoleon's day, there was a soldier who fought for Napoleon. He was French, and he moved to Sicily. So, got the family connections.
I see.
Anyway, Philippe, we go with Philippe?
Oh, okay.
All right. We're going to get to the World Cup in just a second, but we have a caller on the line. Caller, identify yourself, please.
Hey, guys, it's Chuck with the InRavio number 74 van down in Center Moriches, Long Island, New York at the Street Fair.
The Street Fair, cool.
In beautiful Center Moriches.
Weather's going to be pretty nice today, I think, there, right?
Yes, it's a beautiful day out in Center Moriches, and we have right along Montauk Highway, Main Street in Center Moriches, they have a huge street fair today, and we will be down here with the InRavio van giving away swag all day.
Ooh.
You can get a lot of cool stuff down there.
You hear that, viewers?
And
we're going to show up down there.
And when you see the InRavio van in like a street fair, we are blasting classic rock music. We're blasting every type of music we could think of. Everybody flocks to the InRavio van when we're in the streets. We're the only ones, people love InRavio down here in Center Moriches.
So what time's what time's it going on till there, Chuck?
Say that again?
What time is it going on through today?
It's going to be from 9 to 4 today.
9 to 4. Okay, cool. We'll have to swing by after the show, man.
So stop by. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Swing by Center Moriches, Long Island, New York at the Street Fair and check us out at the InRavio van. Like Disco said, we'll be playing all different genres. We'll be bouncing around from all the different radio streams today. We'll be doing country and classic rock and alternative and top 40. So come on down and check us out. Get some free stuff.
We have frisbees and pencils.
Very cool.
We'll be giving away cash, right?
Yeah, Paul's going to be writing checks. Later, he'll be down here. It'll be right from Disco's account.
Just post-dated 2028.
I'll take one of those dated 2028.
All righty,
guys,
Chuck.
have a good show.
Thanks. All right, thanks.
Take care.
That is Chuck Schultz, who is the king of all media here at InRavio.com.
Not bad.
And we have the queen of all media behind the glass.
Behind the glass today. All right.
All righty. So
the World Cup.
The World Cup. Let's talk about. First of all, World Cup is every 4 years.
Yes, it is.
Right? The host country this year is Brazil. They actually have the most World Cup appearances. They've been in every.
They're like the New York Yankees, and I think they've won the most cups too. Is that right?
Yeah,
so they're like the New York Yankees of soccer.
Right. They are the five-time champions.
Now, I read that each time that a nation wins, they get to put a star on their jersey. So I guess, if you look at the Brazilian players, they all have 5 stars on their jersey. Is it 5 times they've won?
Yeah, 5 times they won.
Okay.
If you look at if you can see the Italian jersey.
How many do the Italians have?
The Italians have 4 stars.
4. Okay, that's not bad.
So, yeah.
That's not bad.
No. And
how many does Germany have? Do you know?
Well, the thing with Germany, during the Cold War, they split Germany from East
and West.
I'm pretty sure they have 3 together now.
3, okay.
As unified.
As unified,
Germany.
okay.
I'm going to tell you in a second because I have spent the last week writing notes about the World Cup.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Germany is a 3-time champion.
Okay.
They've been it 18 times, but they haven't won since 1990.
No.
Okay.
And their worst, the worst they've ever done is the quarterfinals.
I see.
That's the worst they've ever done.
And Germany is in, I guess, I was doing a little research on this. I mean, I wanted to know about brackets. I guess they call them groups. There are, I guess, 8 groups. 8, they all have a letter, A through H. I think the USA is in Group G, which includes Germany, Portugal, Ghana, and the United States.
Right.
And I also saw the United States has never won a World Cup. Is that true?
They haven't, but in the first World Cup, 1930, they actually placed 3rd. The United States actually placed 3rd.
So that's the highest they ever placed?
Yeah. So what we're going to do is today, since Phil happens to really know about soccer, and we just found out about soccer this week, we're going to go through the 8 brackets.
Okay.
And we're going to pick 2 teams from every bracket, because 2 teams from every bracket move on.
Okay.
Yes. Right? Okay. But before we do that, let's just talk about the World Cup in general. Now, there's been a lot of controversy about Brazil, about the fact that they're not ready and that the stadiums weren't going to be ready.
And I guess the stadiums are all over the place in the country, right? I guess they're not playing just in one stadium. I guess
No, I think
there's different venues.
Yeah.
There's different venues. And by the way, we're going to try and use the proper words.
That's right.
Terminology.
Soccer has different terminology.
Yes. Like the field is the pitch.
It's the pitch.
That's why it's FIFA Pitch, that movie that came out in baseball.
Yeah.
A couple years back.
Yeah.
It was based on a soccer movie.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I can't say I knew that.
So the soccer field is a pitch.
Okay.
They don't say 0. They say nil.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I was looking at some standings. I saw a W, D, and L. And I said, what the heck is a D? And I guess a D is a draw.
Yeah.
I guess that's not a tie. That's a draw.
Yeah,
Okay.
in soccer, you put the draw in between wins and losses.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
But you know what? Again, the same thing like with the metric system, that makes sense. All you have to do is know, obviously you have to know math to do anything. But the metric system is better math. It's tens. You know what I mean? Everything.
Not like that new math they're teaching with the core curriculum.
Yeah. But you know,
which
if you
I don't
think
get at
about
all.
But also in Europe, when you see the date, what do you see? You see the year, the month, and the day. Okay, that makes sense because when you're sorting things, that's how you want to sort it.
Yeah.
Because that way, all the years sort together, all the months sort together, all the days. You know what I mean? So they do all the things. So why did we change things here in this country?
Well, if you actually ask me, it's based on early on America wanted to be opposite of England. If you go to England, if you turn the light switch up, you're turning it off. The lights go off.
I can't say I knew that.
Yeah, so that's from.
Is that really why we do that?
Yeah. Well, it just seems like a lot of things that we do opposite of England because we want them to be opposite.
We drive on the other side of the street.
Yeah. But,
that's crazy.
I didn't know that. So anyway, in case we, and this is one of my favorite words, in case we don't use the right nomenclature.
We should have that bell that somebody can hit and say,
every time we make a soccer mistake. Yeah. All right, let's get to the groups.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And first of all is Group A. There is Brazil. They're the host team.
Yep.
Cameroon, Croatia, and Mexico.
Yes.
Now they've already played 2 games.
No, well, each.
No, I mean they've already.
Oh, yes,
everybody's played a game.
In Group A, basically.
Right. So Brazil won their game. That was pretty easy. They beat Croatia 3-1.
Favored.
Although Croatia did have a 1-0 lead, but it was an own goal.
Yes. That's
what they call it. When
an
you
own
kick
goal?
it into your own net.
It's not like hockey where it's the last offensive player scores, touches the puck, gets the credit. But
Oh,
it's
I
actually if you hit it backwards, if the ball hits backwards off you,
You get
it goes
credit
in.
for it.
Yeah.
Really?
They give it to you.
Yeah.
Did I? Boy.
They don't give it to the last guy to touch it. You get it.
Wow.
And in all of the years, okay, we're talking about from 1930, there have been 20 World Cups. Brazil has never had an own goal in all those years.
Wow.
Right? Anyway, and then Mexico beats Cameroon 1-0. So who do we like?
From Group A? I would go with, Brazil's going to move on. As you know, there's...
Now, is there really a home field advantage with these guys since they're playing at home here, or what?
Oh, yeah, well, no, yeah, even in club soccer, for the leagues in the countries, the home field advantage is prevalent.
Is huge, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So Brazil's got to be one of the favorites to win the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just get groups. So we think.
Well, I'm talking
Brazil's-
about in this group.
Yeah. So Mr. B is going to also go with Brazil. Give me a second team.
Now, the thing is, over the past few World Cups, there has been a rise in the African nations.
Okay.
So you're going with Cameroon?
I'm going to go with Cameroon.
Okay. I didn't even know what Cameroon was, to tell you the truth. So.
It used to be a French colony.
A French colony, okay.
French and also German colony.
Okay.
Later.
I'm going to go with Mexico.
Yeah, I'm going with Mexico too. But just to show you what we know. Okay?
We know nothing.
You know?
I like to know, I have two people at work that are big soccer fans. Faisal and John Puccio, believe it or not. John Puccio knows a lot about soccer. Both of them are taking Mexico and Brazil to come out of this round.
Group B.
In order for Cameroon, by the way, to get out, they're going to have to beat Brazil, or they're going to have to beat Mexico. And they already didn't beat Mexico. So
we'll see.
The odds on them was 750 to 1, I guess.
I'm going with
yeah,
this.
okay, all right. You're going out on a limb there.
And by the way, the way soccer works is if you win the game, you get 3 points. If you get a draw, you get 1 point. And then if there's a tie for points, they go with goal differential.
I see. Okay, that's a tiebreaker there. Group B has Spain, the Netherlands, Chile, and Australia.
By the way, is it Chile? We're all calling it Chile.
Yeah, we can go with Chile.
I thought it was Chile.
It's in Spanish.
I mean, I know it's not chilly like cold.
No.
But I understood it was Chile. Anyway, okay, so last year, Spain is ranked number 1. Is that because they won the World Cup last year, or is that this year's ranking?
No, what happens is that every month FIFA puts out their own rankings. Now, there's controversy over how the rankings are put, but each month, the date changes, it fluctuates a little bit each month, but each month they have a new ranking system based on the games that you won against other countries and all that. So it's like a mathematical equation that they put together.
And can you tell me how the groups get put together? Because looking at
how
the
are they
groups,
seeded? Yeah.
Right. Looking at the groups, you look at the Americans are in a group of death.
Yeah.
Italians are in a group of death. But then you've got some of these other groups that are just. So tell us how the groups get done.
What they do is they take the FIFA rankings, and they put all the teams that are in there. They put them together in a pot. So there's like pot A, pot B, pot C, and so on, and they draw from that. So it's all depending on actually your ranking is, and then they pluck it, and then it's actually all
they take the top 8 teams.
They put them in one pot.
And put in one pot, and they'll go into. Then they take the next 8 teams and put them in.
Yeah.
But how does some? You see, like some of them that I don't understand, like this one here, Group D, 14, 18, 12, and 4 are the rankings.
Well,
how does Switzerland? Not Switzerland. There are some groups that get a 43 and a 44 in the same group. How does that happen?
Well, because like the fourth seed was in one pot, and then the 44th. So you draw like.
Oh, you're only drawing that pot, then you're drawing everyone else out of the other pot.
Yeah, because like first person was saying to pick pot A.
Okay, so you make sure that you don't have 1 and 2 in the same group,
Yeah.
but you could have 8 and 9 in the same group.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. So Group B.
Yes.
Who do you like coming out of Group B?
Well, the Netherlands.
Netherlands, they avenged their loss to Spain, right?
Yes.
They won last night, I guess. Or yesterday.
5 goals in a World Cup soccer game is fairly unusual, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Netherlands is already ahead in that group. They've won their game, and they won their game against Spain. Now, that doesn't mean that Spain is eliminated, but Spain is probably going to have to win their other 2 games.
Well, the thing is, Spain has the problem now that they have a -4 goal difference, which is the first tiebreaker.
I got you.
So.
All right, so
who do you like?
Well, Netherlands. I mean, before the game yesterday.
Right. So you may have changed your predictions now that you have a little insight into what's going on.
Yeah, well,
okay.
Because the World Cup is 2 days in now.
Yep.
So, but the thing is, Spain is an aging team.
Okay.
It's not the oldest. It's in the middle with the age average. But this might be Spain's last hurrah with this push for with this team. It's not to say that that Spain's going to do poorly in the next World Cup.
all right, so you like Netherlands, and who else you like?
It's going to be a toss-up between Chile and Spain now because of Spain's.
You only get to
poor
pick one.
performance. Well, because of based on the poor performance by Spain, and
You got to go with Chile.
I'm going with Chile. Yeah.
Okay. All righty. I'm going to take both Chile, and I still think Spain is going to come out.
I'm going to take chili today and hot tamale. Okay. I don't know.
Not spicy food fan.
But I guess it's not fair because the Netherlands already has 3 points. How do they not get in here? They're going to have to lose the next 2 games.
It's going to be.
They're not going to do. They're going to at least beat
They got a good
Australia.
team. I'm sure they're going to advance.
But all right, Mr. B, who are you taking?
I'm taking Chile, and I told you, Chile and hot tamale. No, and Netherlands.
Okay. All right, in Group C, we got to move along here.
Yeah.
Run out of time. All right, Group C is Greece, Colombia, Ivory Coast, and Japan. It seems like we're talking probably Colombia is kind of a favorite, right?
They're the top seed. It looks like.
South America.
All right. And what about? It's really between Ivory Coast and Greece because Japan,
Nah, I think it's between Ivory Coast and Japan. I really do. But you say the African teams are playing better, so I'm going to go with the Ivory Coast, I guess.
Greece has one of the top oldest teams.
Okay.
So
that can't be good.
No.
Okay.
And they did come in third in. Oh no, never mind. Forget it.
No.
They've never advanced past the group stage.
No.
Greece. So who do you like?
This may not be. This will not be Greece this time. It's going to be Ivory Coast.
Okay.
Ivory Coast. Okay.
All right.
Group D, we got Italy,
Yes.
Uruguay, England, and Costa Rica. This looks like a pretty tough.
This is the. This
looks
is
like there's
one of
3
the
good
other
teams here, man.
groups of death.
Yeah. Okay.
As I referred to, yeah.
Yeah. Now they start their play today.
Yeah.
You're going to have Italy and England today. That's going to determine.
That should be a bloodbath.
That might determine at least one of the things. I think Uruguay is probably the best one, the best of the group. But what do you think? That's why we have you here.
We'll go with the Uruguay, but Uruguay also has one of the oldest teams in the competition this year.
And who do you like as the second one coming out of this group?
Well, it's either going to be Italy and England. I have to go with my heart and say Italy.
Mr. B?
I'm going with Italy and England.
Ooh, Mr. B's going for the hooligans.
There you go.
Like, that's a stretch. All right, so you're hoping that England, you know what I'm going to have to do? I have to bring in an Italian flag or something for next week if they win, if the Italians win. All right, Group E, Ecuador, France, Honduras, Switzerland. Who do you like? Now, I know you're French.
It's not going to be Honduras.
Okay.
It's not going to be Honduras. Probably Switzerland. And France has had a rough couple of World Cups. France is going to come back with this one.
All right, Mr. B?
France and Ecuador.
All right, now they start tomorrow.
Yeah.
They've all 4 teams played tomorrow.
I guess the U.S. what they start on Monday. I guess is what they start, right? And
By the
they're
way-
playing Guyana. I guess who they're playing. Ghana. Okay.
So let's talk about the U.S. just for a quick second. Now, oh wait, we got to.
No. Well, they're in Group G. We're up to Group F right now.
Group G.
Group F.
Group F.
let's
That's
go.
Argentina, Bosnia,
Herzegovina?
Yes.
Nigeria, and Iran.
Well, as this
that
country,
powerhouse Iran. Okay.
this is kind of Nigeria and Argentina. Would you say?
I would go Argentina. That's actually my favorite. Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Bosnia and Herzegovina's first
Right,
World
they've
Cup
never been
appearance.
here.
Yeah, outside of its former Yugoslavia. But no, I would go Bosnia. Argentina and Bosnia.
Wow. Okay.
They're rising European.
Phil taking the.
I'm taking
Mr. B?
Argentina and Bosnia as well.
Wow. All right. So now go to Group G, which is the second group of death, and this has the United States team. What did you think about? What did we think about the fact that?
Didn't their coach say we have no chance of winning?
Coach says
like
we have no chance. Coach says we have, but you know what? He says you have to be realistic. Every year we're getting stronger. We don't look at ourselves as underdogs. We are not. We are going to take the game to Ghana, and they will take it to us. For us now talking about winning a World Cup, it's just not realistic. If this if it is American or not, you can correct me. That's because our coach is that true blue-blooded American, Jürgen Klinsmann.
Okay.
But again, he's being realistic, but he's not an American. We Americans we never look at ourselves, and we'll never say we can't do something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they said that we couldn't win the group in 2010, and we won the group, and we,
But we were up 2-0 in that game too, right? In 2010, right? Was that the? I'm trying to think what that term is. There's the consolidated trophy or something. I don't know.
Oh, the Confederation.
Confederation. There you go.
That was in 2009.
Okay, 2009.
You know, he was talking about. Klinsmann was talking about. He says if you ask that same question to Germany or to Portugal. Or Brazil, he says they expect the title. There's no discussion about how far you go, how far you can go, or what your goals are. They expect to win. They're like the Yankees. The Yankees don't talk about making the playoffs.
No.
The Yankees talk about winning the World Series. Why? Because they have. They've won it before. It's
tradition.
It's tradition. That's right.
Okay. So in Group G, I guess we're going to count the U.S. out, probably, huh? I guess they had a long shot there.
Well, the thing is, in order for the U.S. to move on, the first game, USA has to beat Ghana. If we beat Ghana and at least get a draw in Portugal.
Right.
Then
Now Ronaldo might be more hurt than they're saying he is. You know, even though he played 65 minutes in that friendly the other day. See the way I put that in there? It makes me sound like I really know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But he played 65 minutes. But you know what? It was a friendly. Nobody was really marking him. Nobody was really, making him make cuts and moves. He was just kind of like, it was like playing in the park, you know? And then he already came up lame during practice yesterday. Yeah. So, if the U.S. doesn't beat Ghana, they're still not dead. Okay, if they just obviously they have to at least draw with Ghana, okay, but then if they could draw with Portugal, they might still be able to get out.
But it depends on what Portugal does with the other games.
Yeah, well that's the whole thing.
So what are your picks here, Philippe?
Well, it's going to be Germany. Germany's going to move on.
Germany,
and my coworker, he could always remind you, Sal Police could always remind you that in 2002. When no one thought that the United States could beat Portugal, we did that in the 2002 Cup. So I'm going to limb and say Germany, USA.
Wow, okay.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. I'm going Germany and Portugal.
Mr. B's trying to win the pool.
I'm going with all the favorites is what I'm doing.
All righty. And the last group, Algeria, Belgium, Russia, South Korea. South Korea ranked 57th. In the FIFA rankings. But that's a good team, South Korea.
I mean, but it's like I said, the FIFA rankings have their little problems.
You know, they have to run away from, like, nuclear weapons and stuff. So who do you like?
I'm going to go Belgium, South Korea. They have two of the youngest teams. Ages in there.
I am going to take Russia and South
Belgium?
Korea. No, I'm taking Russia and South Korea.
Really? I'm going with Belgium and Russia. Big surprise there. Go with all the favorites.
All righty, we are out of time. We will talk again to Phil.
This goes on for
the next 7 months. Oh, it's just a month?
Yeah, it's a month and a day. But I don't know, if there's time for make one more thing.
Okay.
The Cosmos, I don't know if you know. The Cosmos came back last year after being gone for 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
They won the championship last year of the new NASL. And tonight, they're playing the Red Bulls.
Where?
In Hofstra University.
Hofstra? Wow.
They're expecting 20,000 people to show up.
Wow. And you will be one of them?
I will be one of them. And they're calling it the New York Derby, which is the battle for New York. Well, the English,
Is that one of those terms?
Yes. The English spell it Derby, as us Americans
Oh, I see.
But
is that like potato? Or
pretty
what?
much, yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. All right, so go out and see the Cosmos today. If you don't have a ticket, go to StubHub. Otherwise, just go with Phil. He'll get you in there. Yeah. Phil, thank you, man.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
This was great.
Yeah. This was a lot of fun.
All righty, we'll be right back. We're going to set up for Mr. B's song, and then we are out of here. We'll be right back.
InRavio.com.
That was good.
Hey, this is Gina Cotillo from The Gina Show. Come join us every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for celebrity interviews, Reality Reel with Billy Charles, funny stories with Brian Kinnear, and much, much more. The Gina Show can be found only on InRavio.com, broadcasting to the world. So come and catch us.
Microphone.
Hi, this is Tony.
And I'm Dan, and you're watching
Dear Dad.
Oh, wait, you're not watching it yet, but you should be every Thursday at our new time from
in the back.
7 to 8.
That's the new time. Dear Dad on InRavio.com.
Only InRavio.com.
Where else could it be? Tune in.
On the internet.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Girls, 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 all have something to say. Some say their emotions get in the way. Some like them big, some like them skinny. Oh, girls, who's come this way? We must unite, this is the place. You don't have to show your face. Girls, I'll be a lady of today. So say what you
Alrighty, we are back here on the Glory Day Show. Going a little over time here, but we want to get in Mr. B's song. Thanks to our producer today, the lovely and talented Queen of InRavio, Bonnie, who can be seen each week with her lovable boy toy, Chuck, on Two Guys and Chick on Wednesday nights here on InRavio.com. Thanks to Pete Torgerson for helping us out with the Stanley Cups. Thanks to our new best pal, Phil Alonge here, who's giving us a hand here with the World Cup.
That's right.
And we'll be talking about the World Cup for the next couple of weeks, so you'll get sick of seeing his face. And thanks to Chuck and Bonnie, of course, for putting up with this nonsense week after week. Don't forget, Tomorrow is Father's Day out there for everybody. Spend some time with your dads. Give them something that they really want, which is time with you. Go to a ball game, pick up the phone, give a call. Right?
You can visit him.
You can go visit him if he's there. Every year we try to do a little something for our dads, and we couldn't get the video up for you this week, but Mr. B is going to do a song today that...
Well, this was the background on the video that you did. So you called me last night, and I learned it. Let's see if I remember it now. That'll be the tough thing here.
All right, let your dad know how important he was in your life.
All
Enjoy
right,
your
in
weekend.
my life, the Beatles from
Enjoy your
Rubber
weekend,
Soul.
everybody. Mr. B will take us out of here.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some are gone and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends. I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I love you more. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you. And these memories lose their meaning when I think of love that's something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you all. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and places that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you more. Thank you.
Nicely done. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you too, buddy. All right.
Radio.com.